Hi tappers, I have a few tools to introduce to you. Here is Tappy Bear. You've met her once before. Here is Tappy Doll. This will be Tappy Moana. She's famous. And here will be Tappy Superman. What? When I took Dawson's 5-day EFT intensive workshop, he taught me about these, and I felt an instant liking and connection with them. I believe this happened for a few reasons. Number one, I have a daughter, and I'm always interested in tools that I can use to assist her. Number two, I had a childhood trauma myself, and I could feel that this would help me too, and I could see how this creates a space of removal for the person tapping. It's less threatening, with one caveat that I know of, which I will explain in a minute. And number three, there's a childlike sense of comfort and joy in using them. When it can be more deeply triggering is when the Tappy doll or animal is lifelike and the person has had a trauma either at that age or with someone else at that age or with that animal. A lifelike newborn wouldn't be ideal to tap on for someone who's lost a baby or someone who suffered abuse as a baby. There is such a thing as oversaturating the tapper, which we will get to in another video. Balance is the key, and keeping your tappy assistant in a more fantasy or toy-like realm is best. Let's get to creating. All you need to get started is your choice of Tappy Assistant. Note that selections with smooth plastic or shorter filaments are better for making the tapping points obvious. Now, select what will be your medium for making the marks. You can do something as easy as permanent marker, or you can go jazzy with rhinestones. I personally prefer something raised as it gives you a layer of tactile response, and it helps with anyone worried about not being on the right spot who might keep checking. This way, they can feel it and they can relax. And if you need it, some really strong glue. You will want to get as accurate as possible with the placement of the acupoints, so using a pencil first is wise. If your rhinestones come pre-glued, it's best to peel that off as it's not meant to adhere very strongly and will likely cause your acupoint to fall off after a short amount of use or washing, especially if it's made for a younger person. If your Tappy doll has hair, it's best to secure it in some fashion so that the point isn't disturbed while in use and becomes a distraction during the session. Allow your Tappy assistant enough time to set and dry before use. This is possible to do for very cheap and potentially free if you already have everything lying around. If you are making one with a particular person in mind, be sure to make it in a way that will be appealing to them. Also, it's best to keep it as a tool, not a toy. If you hold that boundary that seeing Superman with the dots on his face is a signifier as a nurturing therapeutic tool, the brain will begin to acknowledge that when it's brought out, even if they have an identical Superman that doesn't have the tapping points on it. It makes a difference. Now, let's say you don't have access to any of this, or the person you are approaching could care less about engaging with any of this, or they could care less about engaging with them. I have some other creative choices for you in the next video, and we'll talk about how to engage with those at that time. I'll see you soon.